When I first started making tunes with the SP-1200, it was such a revelation of how much fun, how great it sounded, the simplicity of the workflow, using these sliders, the buttons, the sequencer, everything about it is just fun. It makes it immediate, it makes it raw. It just makes you feel happy when you're working on your music, and right now it's the centerpiece of my studio and I don't see it changing. My name's Sam Willis, I record as Primitive World and I love vintage samplers. So this is my SP-1200 sampling percussion machine. It's from the late 80s and it has 10 seconds only of memory. You have to squeeze as much as you possibly can from those seconds. In here we've got some 808 and 909 sounds and a few other bits and pieces. And I'm going to go through showing you how you sequence and put together a track. Go for an 808 kick. Turn the metronome off. Okay, add some hi-hats. Some 909 hi-hats. Use the note repeat, which allows you to do rolls. Really handy for just throwing stuff in on the fly. So maybe we'll do some toms. We can change it to multi-pitch mode, which lets you play the sound across the octave. You can tune each one. I first heard about the SP-1200 probably referred to in like a Pete Rock and CL Smooth track. I remember seeing it on record sleeves, and just the colour, just the whole shape, the design, it's a classic piece of hardware in every shape and form. It was always there as a sort of dream machine in my mind of something I would like to own one day, but having started on the computer, it took me a while to get there, and I've gone through, I currently have about 8 vintage samplers of different makes and sizes, shapes, eras, and this is absolutely my pride and joy, number one spot. That's how you swing. Modern music software is fantastic in many ways, but from the point of view of workflow, clicking with a mouse can just never compete with punching buttons and sliding faders. You can get lost in the pattern, just writing and just punching in sounds. Despite it being the heart of my studio, there are some limitations, and I think that's where the best of both worlds is utilising this machine with a DAW like Logic or Ableton. Okay, this next little trick is looping a sample in order to create a sort of synth patch out of it. You need to go in and change the default decay level because otherwise it sustains forever, but once you go in and go to the loop, you bring it up nice and tight, and then you can turn an 808 bass drum into this. You can have a lot of fun with that. my whole productions are pretty much going through this machine and then pass through external hardware with very little software processing. I just couldn't be any happier with how things sound, because you're getting a sound which is fantastic at its source, rather than having to use plugins to excite and to enhance something that was sterile and lifeless, which is something that I personally struggled with when I was just making music in the computer. Now the machine it's a very fetishized machine. Like, it's become this holy grail for a lot of people, myself included, and it's very expensive, but for me it's worth the price because, as I said, it's the centerpiece of my studio and it just makes me really, really happy.